things that he's done. And to introduce a great man, a very special friend of mine, my partner in ministry in India, and that's Reverend Charles Golla. Come on up, Charles. I'll say a couple nice things about you. Charles Golla is the director of E3 Ministries in northern and northeast India. What that means is that Charles is in charge of actually training all the pastors that are part of the E3 Church Expansion Ministry all over northern and northeast India. 1.3 billion people in India, so there's a lot of people to be reached even in northern India. And so Charles directs our ministry there. His wife Rohinee is with us here this morning as well. Rohinee is an English teacher by trade in the 10th and 11th grades, but she also serves as part of our training team when we train pastors and other people to go out in the field and do church expansion ministry, so she's been a huge help to us as well. So I hope you have a chance to see them after the service. Introduce yourself. Pray that all you are considering on joining us in India sometime soon. So my part of the presentation is to tell you a little bit about what we accomplished in January. We had Bob Josher join us on the trip in January, and I was telling Bob's wife last night, you know, when Bob is in India, he really hits his stride in ministry. He's not a guy that does ministry, he's a guy that lives ministry. And he impacts everybody on the team. He really meets Indian people well. He just gets in the midst of it and really does a great job of ministering. And it's always a blessing to have Bob with us. So on this last trip, we had only 8 members on the team. Those 8 members did 773 gospel presentations in 4 days. So they worked pretty hard. And most of those presentations are in villages. Sometimes it's to small groups of people, but never to large groups. So 773 presentations is a lot of work. Out of the 773 presentations, 123 people profess faith in Christ. And so those people are immediately put into discipleship groups. And our goal is to plant house churches in all these villages around Tezpur. Before we left, we had actually planted 6 house churches. Charles just reported from our leader there in northeast India in Sonipur that you're actually supporting Uttam Della, that they actually planted 6 more churches since we left. So there's 12 churches planted. But his goal is by the time we return in June is to plant 15 house churches. So this is a great start for a new young pastor. He's rallied this group of young leaders, and they're out in the villages meeting these people, sharing the gospel with them again, starting the discipleship process with them, forming house churches, and then following up with those house churches and making sure that those people are discipled well. And then while we were there, Charles and I took a day out of the field. We trained 88 leaders in what we call pastoral coalitions. So we invite all the pastors and leaders from that area to come to a meeting. We talk to them about how do you do church planting in that area. We ask them to form groups based upon their communities in that area. Once they form groups, we ask them if they would be willing to work together to take the vision to reach all of India with the gospel for their particular area. And if they say they will, then we said, now this is a new group, and you will elect your own officers. You will have a meeting once a month to pray together, talk about your church planting targets, and actually follow up with how you're doing it every month. Are you willing to do that? And they say yes. They sign a commitment to be a part of a coalition. And then you plant these groups in different areas, and they start working with church planting ministry of their own. So we've got 88 of those, 88 pastors and leaders that we put together. I don't remember how many groups came out of that, Charles? 9 groups formed that Thursday, so we'll be following up with them before we come in June, and then specifically in June when we're there working with those coalitions. So I'm going to turn it over to Charles and let him cover what we're looking forward to in the future in India.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you. I want to thank the Lord for giving this opportunity to come before you and this church and to share about what we are going to do in this next trip that we are going to have in June 6th to 16th. And I'm thankful to your pastor for sending and encouraging some of your church members to go in our last mission trip, and not only in the last January, but also in February 2012. We had Matt and his daughter, Carly, and also we had Brother Larry Crocker and also Bob. And so we had a wonderful time. And so our focus this time is, to do follow-up and to also see how we can go along with that and do more church planting. So we want to share the gospel through the Evangel Cube. Just in case if you do not know what is Evangel Cube, I have this Evangel Cube with me. And so with this cube, we share the gospel with both the oral learners as well as the literate groups. And besides that, we are going to put up this Audi Bible. And so this Audi Bible is another way of sharing the gospel and doing the follow-up and discipling new believers among these new second groups that we have started. And we also use community help, like health awareness clip charts. We have reading eyeglasses, and we have HIV/AIDS cube, malaria cube, and all these different multiple tools that we use so that we can build a bridge between the Indians and the Americans. And so we directly do not share the gospel because there are places where it is very difficult to directly share the gospel. And so we use all these kinds of multiple tools to build a bridge and relationship, and then we go on to share the gospel, and then we start house churches among these new believers. And so God has been very faithful, and He is continuing our work, and we want to see that we want to do follow-up. And just recently we also appointed Uttam Dhela. He is one of our regional coordinators for Assam area. And so I'm really thankful for your church for taking and giving him this gift on this computer, so that he can be very helpful, and it will be helpful for me to always communicate with him. And also we want to get involved with the coalitions that have been formed in January, what Tom has mentioned, so that we will see how faithful they are, so that within the 6 months, if they are faithful, and we would like to work along with them and go to those hard, unreached areas and plant house churches there. So this is what we need, and we need your prayer support. From now on, I would like you to pray about it and consider coming to India. And it's a land of enchantment. It is a land of organized confusion and chaos. So you'll enjoy it. Everywhere you'll push, and you'll see people will keep touching you, and there's no space. And what Tom has mentioned, there is 1.3 billion people of population, and every state has got, Delhi has got 17 million population. Just think about it. And so you will love it. People are very hospitable. They would like to see you. You will have a lot of hot tea, chai tea. If you want to come, you please come, and you'll enjoy it, and you will really develop friendship and relationships with them. And so please consider to pray. More than anything else, I would like you to pray for these unreached, unengaged people groups, because out of 3,000 unengaged, unreached people groups, there is about 2,325 unengaged, unreached people groups living in India. And so we have an opportunity to share the gospel at least one time, so that God will be happy, and they will be rejoicing in heaven. So with this, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your prayer and for your involvement in this Assam E3 trips. Thank you.